Okay, so let's see if this works. I'm seeing audio now, so can you guys hear me? Ah, good, thank you. I have no idea why it did that. It disabled the microphone in the settings deep in the like in the various settings for the software. It's in one of the back ones. Okay, so thank you guys for hanging tight while I was working on this. So how is everyone doing tonight? So there seems to be quite a bit of lag in the chat. Trying to figure out how long. Hey, hello Cash and Coins. How are you doing? So by the way, guys, the reason I'm doing this live stream tonight is as a test, basically for what we're planning. Me and Cash and Coin are going to be doing a live stream together. It's going to be a weekly show. Probably thinking that we should normally start next week if we're set up by then. So this evening I'm gonna try to work out all of the bugs. As you can see, I had a major one to start off with. Yeah, I mean in Texas right now, Charles, they're experiencing snow, which is absolutely crazy. So us, we're used to it in Canada. All of the houses are insulated and we're set up for winter, but in Texas it must be crazy over there. So yes, so what I was planning to do tonight basically is I'm just going to launch a game and I'm going to answer your questions as I play. So if you guys are gamers, you're going to be able to enjoy that aspect as well. So let me do that right now. Let's see. Okay, I'll launch here and I'll just change the screen. There we go. So it should launch momentarily. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, this is OBS Streamlabs. It's a very, very powerful software. Just a little bit tricky to set up. All streamers always complain the first time around they're having issues, and seems like despite my attempt to prevent it, I wasn't successful. So let me just skip the intro here. There we go. So while this launches, yeah, so as I was saying earlier, Cash and Coins and I are working on a live stream that we're planning to do every week. So the way it will work basically is one week it will be on his channel and the next one it will be on mine. So we're trying to figure out subjects that would be interesting for you guys to watch. And basically an interesting concept that has not been done so far. So if you have any ideas, we're both here. So please share what you would like to see during a live stream so that we can add it to the list of things that we need to set up. So this game I'm playing is Mech Warrior. It's a BattleTech. Actually, the name of the game is BattleTech, but it's based on the game, the tabletop game with Mech Warriors. So this, I'm very far into the game. I've already completed the campaign, and now I'm basically in the DLC content that I purchased afterwards. So let me just launch a mission here. So the whole concept of this game, it's a strategy game based on, well, it's a tactical strategy game based on mech combat. So okay, everything looks good here. Let's deploy. Let me know if the sound is too loud for the game. I've lowered the volume in the software. I think it's going to be okay, so it won't be too loud. I've disabled the music and I reduced the sound effects and everything. I'm seeing a problem with this. Let me just fix that for you guys. Let's see. So, properties. There we go. Okay, so the mission will be surveillance, and I have to destroy a lance. So let's launch.
Command interface initiated.
So a lance in this game is a group of 4 mechs. So basically these replaces tanks. And while I'm playing, I'm watching the text window. So if you guys have questions or if you want to talk about something with me or with Cash and Coin, please feel free to do so. So this mission is very simple. It's just a seek and destroy mission. So just gonna need to find where the enemies are and destroy them.
On the move.
Acknowledged. On it. Move into position.
So this is the reason I chose this game is it turn-based, so I can stop playing anytime and talk with you guys. I'm not under stress of being attacked or anything while I'm talking. Alright, so we just found the enemies. Excellent, that's good. So the sound is not too loud.
Good to go.
Onward.
I'll explain as I get into
Location confirmed.
weapons range how this works.
Orders.
Okay, let's see if I can get a range. I can. Use a different mech though.
What do you need?
Okay.
Up high.
Alright, so this is the first mech I came into contact with. So it's a mech that is about the same size as the ones I'm using. And he's not defensive right now, so I should be able to hit him pretty hard with my mech. So this is a special attack that I'm using, which allows me to try to focus a specific area on his mech. So I'm going to try to, basically, in this game, the way that you destroy an enemy mech is you have two ways, actually 3 ways to do it. You can either destroy the cockpit by destroying the head, or you can destroy both legs, and this will bring the mech down and he's going to be out of the fight. Or the last part is what they call coring, so it's destroying the center torso where the fusion reactor is. So in general, what you want to do is destroy the head if you can. This way the mech can be retrieved, and you can use it for once the battle is over, you can actually salvage the mech and use it for your own lances. So I'm going to try to do this. The mech I'm using is not necessarily designed to do that, but I'm going to try anyway.
Attacking from position.
So none of the weapons hit the head, just hit most of the torso where most of the armor is, so it didn't do anything really.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
Yes, Commander.
Waiting for orders. Aye, aye.
Okay.
Roger.
So the red lines shows which mech I can hit. So this straight one is a direct line of sight. This one, as you can see, goes thinner here, so that means there's obstruction, so I don't have a full line of sight if I decide to attack this mech. But I'm still going to attack him to reduce his defenses. If you look at where the text is on his mech, Orion is the name of the model of mech he's using, and the shield represents that he's guarded, and the two chevrons represents defenses. And these, every time you attack a mech, no matter how many weapons you use to attack that mech, they're going to lose one defense. So the more defenses they have, the harder they are to hit. So basically the trick is, if you can do one weapon on each mech that is defended, it allows you to hit them with stronger volleys later on. So to do this, I'm going to use a multi-target, so I can attack my primary target, which is going to be this mech, and I'm going to put one weapon on this one to reduce his defenses. Now I need to find a weapon that can hit at that range, so my medium lasers are too far. It's too far for the range of that laser type, so I'm going to use the extended range large laser, which has a very long range. So now just going to fire.
Firing on multiple.
I'm not sure, CoinTalk, if I can run a server. I know that it's a multiplayer game, so you can play one-on-one with other players. There is a platform basically built into the game where you can go and try to find opponents. I haven't really done it. I normally like to play with people I know, so I haven't done it. But if any of you guys have that game and you want to play later on, just let me know. You can add me on Steam. So my account name is Silverholic, and would be happy to have games with you guys later on. I play this game quite a lot. It's a really, really good game.
Commander. Yes, Commander.
So far my attacks haven't done a lot. I'm just at the edge of my range, so we're still pretty far.
Jump set. Engage.
I'm going to show you that in a second. So if I select him as a target, as you can see, none of my medium lasers can reach him at this range, so all of my autocannons can. So those are large machine guns basically, and this is a different type of autocannon, which basically does 2 shots instead of 1.
Firing on target.
I'm your spaniel. Jumping.
So this is my sniper mech. He's designed to blow off the heads on other mechs. Unfortunately, I don't have any resources, it's called Resolve. So the Resolve is what allows you to use special attacks and special defenses. And I don't have any right now, so I can't pinpoint his head as a target. So I can just do a normal firing basically on him. So what I'll do is I'll try to strip the defense on the other mech at the same time. Just put a large laser on the other mech and fire.
Roger that.
So this was the first turn of the engagement. I didn't suffer any major damage on any of my mechs, and the one I'm focusing on is pretty badly damaged right now. I'm going to show you that in a few seconds.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
Yes! Give them everything you've got!
So they got me flanked on both sides right now, which in this game is not really a problem. You don't want to have any mechs in your back though. The back of the mechs are not really armored, and if a mech can get in your back, they can do a lot of damage from there. So if we have a look, just select mech.
I live to serve.
So let's see if I can get in position here to take him out. I have the wrong.
I await your command.
Okay, so this is my sniper, as I was saying earlier. Let's just try to get him in position. So the sniper, you want him to be facing the mech directly, so that would be impossible, but I can get pretty close. So I'll go over here with the jump jets, and I'll try to just destroy the cockpit. And as you can see, all of the areas in orange are places where there's no armor left. So all this is structure, weapons, and subsystems. So any hit that goes on these parts will do a lot of damage. But if I can take out the head, then I can destroy the mech in one go.
Target confirmed.
And it worked. So I did a lethal damage, the head was destroyed, so the mech is down.
Enemy down.
So I don't know if you guys have been following the news lately, but like the banks have been found guilty by their own admission of manipulating the market using the ETFs. So this is big news because it's something that I was thinking that they were doing for a long time, but there were no proofs. But this week, one of the representatives from Goldman Sachs during an interview explained that what the banks are doing is that they are basically shorting the market using the money that people are putting into the ETFs. So like for SLV, for instance, when people purchase SLV, the way it works is the money is supposed to be used to purchase silver. So for each share of SLV, they're supposed to purchase 1 ounce of silver and put it in a trust. And what the banks are doing, JP Morgan is the custodian for the silver for SLV. And what they're doing basically is they're using the money to short the futures market to hedge their position. But this is illegal because that silver belongs to the investors. It doesn't belong to JP Morgan. So what JP Morgan is doing basically is it's selling the silver back on the market after it's been purchased by the fund. So this is why when the short squeeze was attempted 2 weeks ago, it went up really high in one day, and the next day it crashed the same amount. So basically all of the money that went into SLV was used to short the market, and it brought the price down to where it was prior to the purchases. And this is how they're manipulating the market. There were no proofs of this before, but now they have admitted it. So I would love to see what you guys think about that.
Orders.
Yeah, so while waiting for you guys to answer, like in this case here, I don't have a direct line of sight to this mech here, but my indirect weapons, which are my long-range missiles, which is basically artillery in this game, can target this mech. So I'm going to put all of my direct fire weapons on this one and try to strip the defenses on this one using the missiles.
Acknowledged.
Yes, Cash and Coins. Actually, Also, BlackRock, which is the company that sells all of the ETFs for gold and silver and all of the other assets, said that they were getting out of gold and into silver. So the price of gold was hammered today because of that. So normally we should see an increase in the price of silver because of it. I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not, but technically that's what should happen.
Commander.
Okay, so they both have defenses up, so I'm gonna strip the rest of it with this mech. So I'm just retargeting my weapons here. Let's see. Let's put most of it on that mech and just a little bit on the other one. There we go.
Multiple targets. Confirmed.
Yes, Scotiabank was found guilty, and Scotiabank actually, because of that, decided to no longer trade gold and silver. So they used to actually produce it. So I do have several bars from them with the Scotiabank logo on it and everything, and they decided to get out of the market completely. So the big thing should come at the end of the month. I believe the next delivery date for the COMEX is on the 25th of February. So we're going to see if there's any kind of squeeze that's going to be attempted there, because they're very vulnerable. There are many places where, well, actually, I saw a few documentaries where they counted the amount of silver that they're selling and the amount of silver that are in the vaults, and the numbers don't match. So basically they're overselling what they have in terms of physical. So if there was to be any squeeze in the physical on the COMEX, it would make a huge difference and it would probably break them. So we're going to see what will happen at the end of the month.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, so let's try to take them out.
Firing all weapons.
There we go. Second mech is down.
One less target.
You put $5 in bitcoins, cash in coin, so I'm expecting you to be a millionaire in about 2 or 3 years. So just hang on to it. It should multiply itself by a few millions. Actually, I just sold my Bitcoin. When it hit 60,000 Canadian, I decided to sell. I don't know how high it's going to go. I am expecting a crash in the market, and when it does, like the last year, when the market crashed, Bitcoin crashed as well. So that's why I sold mine. I'm planning to purchase back after the crash if there's one. Yeah, that mech is a sniper actually. Yes, I configured him to be able to do this exact same thing. He doesn't have as much of a damage output as my other mechs, but he's able to put all of his damage in very specific areas on the mech. So if the mech is defenseless, usually I can take it out.
Awaiting orders.
I'm here.
Okay, so
Yes,
let's just pull back with this one. Okay, so now my mech is overheating. So this is due to the climate here and the amount of weapons I've been using. So normally I could simply turn off some of my weapons, but my pilot has a skill that allows him to dump some of the heat. So I'm going to do a coolant vent. This makes the mech heat up faster afterwards because you have less coolants, but it allows you to cool the mech instantly. So now I can use all of my weapons without any issues. So this mech is defensive. I'm simply going to strip his defenses and strip defenses on that one as well. Actually, this one doesn't have any. Okay, so I'll just do a normal attack on this one instead.
I'm on it. Scored a critical hit.
No, I haven't seen that interview. I saw one of the channel I follow, Arcadia Economics, made a video about it, but I haven't watched it yet. So I'm gonna have to try to do that, Cash and Coins. So what I saw, the title of the video was that the department was going offline at the end of the month. I don't know what that is about. Probably they're just gonna revamp their website or something.
Reporting.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to take out this mech here while he's in a position where he can't really defend himself. Okay, so I'm at a good spot right now. I'm not gonna move. Just gonna do a fire on him.
Affirmative.
And there we go. Third headshot in a row. That's not bad.
Do the math, Chief. One less target.
I'm hit, Commander.
Yes, I do like the Arcadia Economics channel. You always have pretty interesting guests. The only thing I don't like about the channel is that they're really pumping silver, saying that the price will go to the moon and things like that. I really hate that because it creates expectations in people, and if the expectations are not met, it can mean that people will drop silver or drop gold or whatever because they're disappointed in the results. But that's my only complaint. Everything else, I mean, the information they provide and the people they bring in are insiders, so they can give us information that is not available generally to the public.
Receiving you. Jump set. Engage. Solid connection, that one.
Yes, I heard the same thing, Coin Talk, that the LBMA are out of, well, they're not out of silver, but they're selling more than they have. So basically, some of the silver that they are custodians of for companies and funds and things like that is being put in place, is being used to create revenues for them, but it's not their silver to use that way. So there's a huge scam going on with the silver market. That's obvious.
Commander.
So let's see if I can destroy that mech's head again. So this one is defenseless now. He's pretty damaged though, so if the head doesn't pop, I'm thinking the core will. So let's do a full alpha strike on him.
Copy that.
Yep. So the center torso was destroyed. So that was the first wave of mechs that are down. Now the interface is telling me there are reinforcements coming from that way, so we're gonna head there.
Thy will be done.
will allow my mechs to cool at the same time.
Affirmative.
Receiving you.
Just going to sprint because using the jump jets create heat. Okay, so that's an 80-ton mech, which is just a little bit smaller than what I'm using right now. My mechs are in between 90 and 100 tons each.
Yep.
Let's see if I can get in range. I don't think so. Nope. Just gonna sprint.
Wilco. Onward! No retreat!
So yes, regarding what's going on with the silver market, you guys most likely heard that the banks were fined last year. JP Morgan was fined for almost $1 billion. Scotiabank was a few millions. I can't remember the amount. I think it was 100 million or something. And other banks were also fined. Deutsche Bank confessed to manipulating the market. I don't know if they were fined as well. But basically, if you think about it, JP Morgan holds over 1.5 billion ounces of silver, and they were fined less than a billion. I believe the exact amount was 980 million. That was the fine that they received. So that's less than $1 per ounce that they own. And they've been manipulating the market on a daily basis for years. So if you or I were to steal money, basically we would go to jail. We would go to prison, and there would be consequences to us. But in their case, the fine that they receive is just a slap on the wrist. Basically, it means nothing for them. It's an operating cost. And for all of the money they saved and made doing what they're doing, it's a travesty. So I'm really hoping that some consequences will come to them this year. So the first thing that I can see is that now there are evidence that they have, been fined. First of all, it proves that they did something wrong. So the fine was basically because they broke the law, but no restitution was done to any of the investors. So what I'm thinking is that class action suits should be filed. So legal offices should look into the subject, see what can be done in terms of trying to get reparations for all of the people they defrauded. And this would very likely break them and would force them to cover their shorts. And maybe get a little bit of money back to the investors who lost because of the way the banks are behaving themselves. Yeah, CoinTalk, that's true that if silver becomes more expensive, the industries that are using it will be affected, obviously. But what you have to understand is that the amount that they use is sometimes really, really small. So for example, if we look at Apple or if we look at Samsung, they make cell phones that use silver, but they're using fractions of an ounce in each phone. So yes, it would affect them. It would increase their cost of producing a phone, but it would not make a huge difference in terms of how much the phone would sell for. So let's say right now they're using $5 worth of silver. If it doubles, it's going to be $10 to them, and if it triples, it's going to be $15. So $15 out of the $1,500 they're charging, it's peanuts. And the same thing for an electric car. They're using silver for the electric car, but it's a small amount. So if they're using 2, 3, or 4 ounces, for example, I don't know the exact amount, but they're using a little bit of it. The fact that it goes up in price will not change the price of the solar panel, which is selling for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. All right, Cash and Coin, have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night. So let me just resume what I was doing here for a sec.
I'm ready.
Standing by.
There we go, clean line of sight.
Here we go.
Good defenses for my mech. And I'm firing at the Zeus. Okay, so the Zeus is an 80 ton, I believe. So let's just do a normal. He's defensive with 2 pips, so I'm going to do a normal attack on him. Just try to strip down his defenses. And I did get an internal
Oh, yeah.
on his torso, which is good. This terrain is not really good because there's no places where you can get undercover, so it's all open exposed places. So the only defense you can have at this point is from moving, so you're evading the attacks.
Awaiting orders.
So let's jump this mech in the action. Just one target available. No, 2. Okay, so let's attack both. Strip them of defenses. I'm going to put my artillery, which are my missile, on the quick draw, and the Zeus will take the brunt of the attack.
Splitting fire.
And got another crit. Oh, so yes, you purchased the 1915 Ducat for me, right? Well, I hope you kept it. I think it's the one of the most beautiful gold coins available.
Receiving you.
Okay, so let's try this.
Subject.
And I think I have enough resolve for 2. Yeah, I do have enough resolve for 2 headshots. So I'm going to try first one with this mech.
Engaging.
I did get hit the head, but it wasn't enough damage to destroy it. So let's hope I can finish him off.
Losing armor.
All right, Coin Talk, have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one.
Ready for orders.
Okay, so unfortunately my mech cannot get into position to fire at anything, so I'll just do a sprint to bring him quicker into the action.
Heading out. Full speed.
Yes! Give them everything you've got!
So yeah, so I was thinking what we can do in order to try to hurt the banks. So they've been basically the enemy of every stacker for decades now, through manipulation of the market and doing everything they can so that the precious metals do not gain value. Despite their best efforts, the value of precious metal have gone up, but not as much as they should. So the first thing I think that as a customer we can do is if the bank that you're doing business with was fined for manipulating the market, the first thing you can do would be to stop doing business with them and switch your business to a different bank. I don't know if all of the banks are doing it or not, probably not, but it's impossible to know. But what we do know is that some of the banks are, so those ones should not be encouraged by our clientele, basically. And the other thing is people should really start using cash again. The population has switched to credit card usage on a daily basis, so basically now we all purchase everything through credit cards. This has two unfortunate aspects to it. The first is that it increases the price of items because the credit card will charge about usually 2 to 4%. So let's say an average of 3% fees for every transaction to the merchant. So the merchants have to increase their prices by that amount to maintain their profit margins. So if we all switch to cash, the price of items should normally go down. And the other thing is the more people are using plastic to pay instead of using cash, the more likely cash will be made obsolete. And we've seen this in the recent pandemic, where basically they're trying to get us to pay everything by card and not use cash at all. And once cash has been removed, basically we'll be at the mercy of the government and at the mercy of banks, because we will have no way to have money outside of the system. So that would be, as a customer, the first thing I would suggest that everyone does.
Awaiting orders.
All right, let's just jump this mech in action. Okay, so 3 targets available to him, and there are 2 that I'm going to focus on. So this mech here, if you look, I'm just going to zoom in. If you look, this mech, this bar here with the 5 little sub bars, that's the stability of the mech. So once this has reached 5 bars, he's gonna fall down. So basically it's gonna be pushed over. So right now he's very unstable. So what does create instability damage on a mech is physical weapons, so missiles and ballistic weapons like the autocannons. So the mech I'm using does have a lot of missiles. He has 30 missiles he can fire at this mech, so I'm going to do that. Actually, that's mech A, so let's just reset this, and the rest of the damage I'll put on this mech, which has less defense right now. So all of my lasers, basically. Just zoom out and fire. Okay, so he actually got destroyed by the volley, so no need to worry about him anymore. Yes, Tede. So yes, I've been doing business on Facebook for quite a while now, and yes, you can find better deals most of the time, and also you can find things that are not necessarily available at coin shops or online dealers. So I was able to purchase a lot of things for my collection through Facebook, which is awesome.
Receiving you. Reporting. Receiving you.
Okay, so that mech is defenseless. Let's try to beat him with the Highlander.
Engaging jump jet. Welcome to my outfit.
Alright, so the headshot missed completely, but I was able to really damage his mech anyway.
Reporting.
So what have you guys purchased in the, let's say, the last month? Did you go with just base silver, or are you purchasing for your collections?
Awaiting orders. Lifting off.
I'm going to do a second attempt to remove the cockpit from that mech. The angle is not very good, so probably won't succeed, but his mech is... oh, he has 4 hit points left. Okay, let me just turn down the damage here. Save him some heat. That would be plenty. There we go.
Tango down.
Receiving you.
Reactivate the weapons so I don't forget.
Orders.
Try to go after the last 2.
Well done. Here we go. Reporting.
So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. That's the reason for the stream, so I want to do a Q&A with you guys. So just write down what you would like to know, and I will answer between shots here.
Good to go. Waiting for orders. Copy that. Confirmed.
So today you're chasing weight. So do you have a plan for purchases? Like, do you put a part of your paycheck aside every time you get paid, or how do you proceed with the purchases? Or are you more of just when you have money, you just purchase whatever is available? And spare dime, you're doing a mix more of your collection. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now as well, because silver is pretty expensive, so I don't want to purchase too much base metal right now. I'm just looking to make my collection nicer. So I've been purchasing a lot of things like kookaburras and koalas and some of the Olympic coins I was missing from my sterling silver collection from the 1976 Olympics. So that has been my focus for the last month. I just purchased a super nice coin, which is the Star Trek coin. The next time I do a live stream, I'll set up a camera so that I can show you a few things, but that coin looks amazing.
Receiving you. Awaiting orders.
Okay, so
Commander?
alright, let's try with the Atlas. The Atlas is pretty good at removing heads as well. Angle is not ideal. Okay, that would be good. So I'm going to try to behead this awesome.
Lifting off.
Let's see if we can do it. Oh, overeating. Let's cool off. And there we go. And there we are. Head destroyed.
Target eliminated.
Well, spare dime, my favorite metal. That's a very hard question. I really love all of them. I would say, like, if price was not an issue, I would probably say that platinum is my favorite metal. But because of price, most likely I would say gold. The reason for that is that gold tends to be more stable and retains your value better. Right now, silver obviously is the thing to buy because this is the one that's going to explode. So it really depends on the market. It depends on the economy. But in terms of just pure love, I think platinum, like, it's so rare and it looks a little bit better than silver, which is hard to do. but it's an amazing metal. It's too bad that not a lot of people like platinum, but like, if there were no other factors, that's probably the only thing I would stack. But I have a very, very, very small position in platinum. I have about, I think, over 2 ounces right now, compared to about 800 ounces of silver and like 9 ounces of gold. So it's really a tiny part of my stack. But yeah. So it's a long-winded answer, but there it is. So today, yeah, it's. I was surprised though that 10 ounces are very easy to sell, which I was not expecting. I did a few trades lately to get some coins for my collection and traded large bars like the 10 ounces that I had. So I would say it really depends on the price. Like, if you're going to pay the same amount for both, obviously go for the smaller ones. If you're going to save a lot of money on the large bars, well, it's they're not hard to sell, so they're still pretty liquid. But obviously, the most liquid you can purchase are the Maple Leafs and the Silver Eagles and even the Jenner Crowns, because a lot of people don't have enough money to purchase 10 ounce at a time. So I did make a few sales on Facebook, and I noticed that when I put larger lots, like if I put 1, 2, or 3 coins, they sell really easily. But if I put larger lots like 10 coins or 5 coins or something like that, it's really more difficult to get bids or buyouts. Obviously, if you can have single 1 ounce coins, that's going to be the easiest to sell at any time. If you do go to a dealer, like if you prefer to sell to a local coin shop, or if you want to sell to an online dealer, then the quantity and the size of the items that you have are not going to matter that much, because they have the money to purchase it. So it really depends what your exit plan is. So Sparadime say that my most expensive coin that I bought is an 1873 trade dollar. I've never seen any of those, so I'm gonna have to maybe look at your channel if you have a video on it. Can you explain what trade dollars are? And Jim, yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. Yeah, it's I love all of the precious metals. Okay, let's see where we are here. So, okay, still defensive, and I have my lander. Okay, let's just go here, remove his defenses. Unless I have 2 attacks, no, 43 is not enough. So let's do a normal attack.
I'm your spaniel.
And see if I can put my lander in position to take him out. That's not ideal, but it's not bad at all. So no hit on the head.
Onward! No retreat! Receiving you.
Okay, let's go back to the chat. Okay, so you guys are not really talkative. So I'll just finish this mech off then.
Commander.
Let's see. Should have enough for 2 now. Yeah, so just gonna jump right in front of him. I don't want to block this side from that one, so it's here.
Engaging target. Enemy down.
So that's it. Just finished the mission. All right, so let's see what came out of all of this. So none of my mechs were damaged during the encounter. Well, I did suffer some armor damage, but none of the hits went internal, so the mechs are basically in good shape. One of my pilots was injured, so he's going to go to the mech bay for 7 days. And they all made experience, but they're all maxed out right now. Those are all of my elite pilots, so none of them really benefit from the experience anymore. And we're going to look at what the salvage looks like. So the way it works is I'm going to receive a total of, I can't remember. I can choose 3 items, and I believe I'm going to receive 12 total. So let's just see if there's anything that sticks out that I would need. So this large laser that does more damage is not a bad thing. These I already have. Okay. Com system is really good. I'm going to take that. And none of this is useful. Okay, so let's just pick mech parts for the last two. And that's what I received. And so that is BattleTech. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little display of firepower here. I'm going to go back to the chat. Alright, so are there anything else you guys would like to talk about? So I don't know if you guys answered when I started the stream. I was asking what were the subjects that you would be interested in seeing in the live stream, or maybe the themes. I know that most of the live streamers like to do auctions. I don't know if I want to do that or not. It would depend if there's demand for it. But probably when we start, we're not going to do that. So Cash and Coin and I haven't really sat down yet to really decide what we want to do with the live stream that we're going to do on both of our channels. So we're going to do that tomorrow night. So hopefully by the end of the night we'll be able to have a good plan in place to what we want to do. We have to work obviously on the bugs for the interface. I have no idea why OBS turned off the microphones in the background, because on the front panel it was active, but in the background, deep in the settings, it was turned off. So that's why it was so hard to get it working. So Jim says, all I have collecting lately is junk silver because a friend's father still sells to me for under $20 face. Just can't deal with the premiums now. I don't buy by face value, so let me think. $20 face, so that would be, let's see. So that would be still pretty high, right? Let me grab a calculator and do that. So are you buying US coins, or you're buying Canadian? Trying to figure out the math here, just a sec. So 24. Let's do it again. So currently it's at 35, well, 34 Canadian, let's say, times 72. Okay, so spot price would be 24.48 Canadian. So if you're paying 20 Canadian, that's really good. You're paying under spot. I would purchase silver under spot any day of the week. If you're buying Canadian, let me do the same calculation, times spot. Okay, so for Canadian, the spot price would be 21. So if you're purchasing under 20, you're still under spot, which is really awesome. Okay, Spare Time, so we have not made a video yet on the trade dollar. So not sure what you mean by locking up the crime of 1873. Um, I have a gap in my history, I guess. So by the way, guys, I know most stackers hate to sell, but lately I've sold a few things and I've been making quite a lot of profits on what I've been selling. So depending what it was and when I purchased it last year, some of the items I made 20-30%, some of the items I made 50% markup, basically on selling privately. People are paying market value because silver is pretty much unavailable. I do have access to a wholesaler, and he never has anything right now. Every time I go, like last week, he had 8 ounces of silver total. So it's pretty much impossible to find, and the coin shops are selling at really high premiums. So right now what I'm doing is I'm selling at $2 under what the stores are selling for, and I have no issue selling at all. So I can sell with a pretty high premium, and people are happy to purchase it because if they go to a store, it's going to cost them more. So it's a good time to sell because of the premiums that are so high and people are willing to pay them. I'm expecting this will end pretty quickly. Once silver gets back in stock at the local coin shops and at the bullion dealers, the premium should die down, and at that point silver will resume its normal day-to-day pricing. But right now I think it's a good idea to take advantage of the super high prices to sell and then purchase back when the price comes down. So what are you guys collecting? You mentioned that you added stuff to your collections. Are you into specific items, or you collect just about anything? Let me Google the crime of 1873. You really got me interested now. Let's see. Crime of 1873. Gonna paste that in the chat so that everyone knows what it is. Oh, it's two. Oh, I didn't know there was a limit. Okay, let me just let's get this out. And there we go. So it refers to the omission of the standard silver dollar from the coinage law of 12th February 1973. The 67 sections of the law constituted a virtual codification on the then extant law relating to the mints and coinage. Okay. So does that make them more valuable? I'm guessing it does. I don't have any super rare items. I normally try to purchase as close to spot as possible, so obviously it's not gonna bring me things that are super rare. Probably, let me think what I have that would be the rarest. Most likely a Libertad, but even then I don't know. No, that's not true. I have some items that are rare. I have some gold coins which are holographic that were produced in super low numbers, like I believe it was around less than 1,000. But they're not worth a lot. Like there's no real high demand for it, so the fact that they're super rare doesn't really make any difference in terms of price. Yeah, I love kookaburras HR. It's I've started collecting them this month actually. So I'm now up to four or five, I think. I have a few in the mail right now from people I purchased from on Facebook. So I'm not too certain because I do track everything in spreadsheet, but off of the top of my head, I'm not sure how many of those purchases were kookaburras. And I love all of the Pertment products. I mean, the design they have with the kookaburras and the koalas and the swans and the eagles, where it's a proof bullion, basically, it looks amazing. So I do plan on collecting pretty much all of them. I've also started collecting Canadian maple leaves. Gonna try to collect one for every year and collect all of the special ones like the Privy Marks one, which are look amazing because they are reverse proofs. And personally, I think that the reverse proofs are the most attractive of all of the coins. So you got the 1873S, okay? Let me Google that. So trade coin, and let's say value. Gotta love Google. Okay, so they produced 700,000 of them. It's 90% silver. Wow, and looks like they're saying around almost $4,000 for that coin. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not in that numismatic stuff at all because I really don't know anything about it. I think you have to do a lot of research and find out uh, what really keeps its value and what will appreciate and all of that. I don't want to make a large mistake like that. Like if I were to purchase something like this and I made a mistake and it's actually not gonna keep its value, that's pretty bad. But one of my friend collects the Canadian pennies. And he has pennies worth $500. I mean, it's actually crazy when you think about it. But just collecting the pennies, like for all of the years that they were produced, is quite hard. Especially that he purchases only coins that are in really good condition, so he doesn't go with the least expensive one. He normally purchases things that are going to be like worth a lot of money. And that's for pennies, so that's copper. Can you imagine if you go and do the same thing with silver or even gold? That would be quite a lot of money to put into it. And yes, I know coin collection is a really big amount of money. One of the dealers in town here does auctions, and sometimes I see really expensive things going through his auctions. I should really maybe go there and film at some point if he allows me. It must be quite something to watch. So besides my channel, what are you guys normally watching in terms of precious metal channels? Do you have any favorites? Wow, all right. So that's so if you were to sell now, you would be making quite a bit of money on it. It's that's pretty good. So it went from 174. So I guess it depends on of course, the grade of the coin. I don't know if this site has the values by grade. Let's see. So you told me it was a 73, so those are the ones here. Doesn't look like they do. Let's see if I can find a different site maybe. Yeah, it is. Okay. So yes, so 168 is the base price for very good. Okay. There's actually a good. So if you have a good, it's 141, and it goes up to 4654 for an MS63. So quite a large spread in terms of pricing. So if you paid 170, I'm guessing yours is a very good, something like that, or maybe a fine. Fine. Okay. Right. Yeah, fine is listed as 182 right now. So the last video I put out this week is with the owner of CCCS, which is the Canadian Coin Certification Service. So the guy grades coin for a living. So we talked quite a bit about it. The video has not had a lot of view time because the audio is not ideal. I'm not sure why people say that they can't hear anything, because on my phone, on my TVs, on my computers, it sounds okay. But it seems like a lot of people are having sounds issues. So anyway, if you have a chance to watch it, if you're into numismatic stuff, I think you could maybe learn a few things, and the interview will be interesting for you. Yeah, I'm subscribed to 2 is one. I like his content as well, and Menico 64 I've never heard of, so I'm gonna have to look him up. Let me just do that right now because I have a really terrible memory. So let's go on YouTube and do a cut and paste on the name. There we go. Oh, that's a pretty large channel, 41,000 viewers. Okay, let me subscribe to him, and I'm gonna have a look at his channel later on. Well, thank you for that, HR. So Jim, you're saying US coins, constitutional coins. So I'm thinking you're probably talking about something we talked about earlier. Scrolling back up because, as I said, I have a bad memory. I can't see it. Okay, well, let me know what you mean. Hello, Neophyte. How are you doing tonight? And yes, Jim, there's plenty of fakes in every type, though, not just that type of coins. Obviously, if the coin is worth a lot of money, it's more of a risk. But yes, I did bring some fake coins to the guy that does the grading. I was hoping to pass one by him, but he found them all. The funny thing is that 2 of them he spotted just by looking at them, and the other 2 he had to use a magnet to make sure that they were real or not. But obviously it was an interview, so he's not expecting me to bring fake coins. So he's probably much more diligent when he's looking at them for real. But he did manage to find that all of the four of the coins, actually it was 3 bars and 1 coin that I brought, that they were fake among all of the other things that I brought. I didn't trick him with the chocolate either, so I sent him a chocolate. Well, I didn't send him, but I brought a chocolate coin, and yeah, we had a laugh. So yeah, I really enjoy doing interviews. So I don't know if you guys like them. It's a lot of work to do them because the editing on it, like basically, the way it works for edition for me. Let's say it takes. Let's say it's a 90-minute interview, like I did. You have to calculate about 5 times more in terms of time it's going to take me to edit. So in that case, it was a total of about 2 days of work, and the actual rendering of the video took about 5 hours. And I have a pretty decent computer. I'm using an AMD Ryzen 2700. So it's 16 core. Well, it's 8 physical core and 8 virtual cores, but it's a total of 16 cores. I have 32 gigabytes of memory, so it's a pretty powerful computer, and even then, it takes forever to render those videos. So yes, in Neofit I have done many full stack videos. If you go on my channel, there's a section called State of the Stack, where I have done, I believe I'm up to 3, maybe 4 full stack videos. I've done one last year when I pretty much started, and afterwards I did one in the summer, and then one at the end of the year, which marked my 1 year of stacking. So I did it in November basically. So if you enjoyed that type of things, I would suggest you watch them in order to see the stack progress, and also make videos called Stacking Journey, where I pretty much show my purchases for each month. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep doing the stacking journey videos. I don't think I'm going to do another full stack video. It's too complicated because I don't keep all of my silver at home. So when I want to do one of those videos, I have to gather my silver from everywhere I keep it. So it takes a lot of time. And then setting it up on a table when you have that much silver, it takes a long, long time. And then doing the video takes a long time. And then you have to store everything back and bring it back to every other place. So it's just too much work. So I think the one I did that like in November is going to be the last one I'm going to be doing. But I plan on keep doing the stacking journey video. I think people enjoyed looking at new purchases. So, and especially that I always try to purchase not just for my base stack but also for my collection, so I always have nicer coins to show, not just silver eagles or maple leafs or things like that, you know. So we've been going on for an hour 40 now. So unless you guys have any questions, I think I'm gonna end the stream soon. So I want to thank you all for coming in, and especially the ones who were here at the beginning when the audio would not work. Really appreciate your presence. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do these live streams. So no one suggested any subjects, so we're gonna have to come up on our own with things that would be interesting for you guys. But me and Cash and Coin are going to do that tomorrow night. So expect to have live streams from us once a week, starting next week, very likely. I'm not sure if the first one will be on my channel or his. We're going to have to talk about it tomorrow night, but basically we're probably going to do that on Thursday nights, maybe Wednesday nights. We're not sure yet. We have to look at our schedules and see what works best for everything. Well, yes, HR, that's the plan actually. Once I feel that silver has peaked, I plan to convert it to other precious metals. Is it going to be gold? Is it going to be platinum? Or is it going to be something else like real estate? I'm not sure yet. It will really depend on the state of the market. So if there is a good economic recovery underway, I would very likely go into platinum, because platinum tends to perform good. Well, that's very bad English. It tends to perform well in good economic times. If not, if I feel it has peaked, but that the economy is still bad, then I would very likely go into gold. It would depend on the gold to silver ratio, of course. And if the bubble for the real estate has burst, that would be my first choice, because real estate is a good asset to have, and it produces income. Before I started going into precious metals, my goal was to go into real estate, for rental real estate. But when I started to evaluate the market and see that everything was in a bubble, I decided not to, and went into precious metal instead. But my goal is still to get into real estate at some point, but not when buildings and houses are selling for twice what they're worth. All right, so it seems like that was all of the questions. So thank you again. And so if you have any comments or anything like that, don't hesitate to put it in the comment section once the video goes live. And I hope to see you on the next videos. Have a good night, everyone.